Greetings, dear ones. After much difficulty, we found our way through to you. Let us greet you in this new energy, for you have been stepping through a challenge. What has taken place on planet Earth is there has been so much compression, so many things that have demanded your attention, taken your focus from where you wish to be, and so many things that you can get wrapped up in. We tell you there are many people standing and making their voice heard for perhaps the first time. And in these sacred times, in this very special, unique junction of time and space, there's an opportunity for you to make a rather large difference. And that is what we wish to speak of this day. That is the message that we wish to bring to you. A challenge, if you will, to step into your light, step into your focus, and help to change planet Earth during these shifts. Now, all of you knew the changes were coming, the shift between energy. Many of you believed that it was all going to happen within a matter of 24 hours, and you would wake up the next day and everything would be perfect. And of course, what's happened is you've stepped into the new energy, and it has literally caused a fragmenting of your energy, of your security, of the stabilization that you have built your lives upon. And as such, you have many people now who are acting out. Very simply, if they feel they cannot be heard, if there is no place for their energy, they act out until they make sure that someone hears them. And often, sometimes even taking many lives in the process. There are new energies on planet Earth that all of you are reacting to. Well, this day, we challenge you to make a difference, to do something and to take a specific action. Now, you'll have to determine the actions yourself because each of you are different. And each of you hold different keys that can open doors to the larger aspects of humanity, but all deep within you. Let us explain. It was very critical, dear ones, for all of you to come in and separate. For that's what this game was all about. It was about pretending to be separate from each other and seeing how you could get along on planet Earth. Well, for much of the energy that was there, for much of what you have suffered on your planet, it was perfectly fine to go your own directions, to create your own internal safe spot, and not worry about how it blended with the rest of planet Earth or the humans on the Earth. But now we tell you, dear ones, it is changing, because your own perception of humanity itself is shifting. That is perfect. Now, here is the challenge that we will bring to you. I ask you all to look. Because you will understand, dear ones, that as you come into this planet, you have certain things that draw your attention and certain things that tend to repulse you. Well, what are the things that draw your attention? Beauty. Now, beauty, you will also find, is different for each individual person. So that means that there's a wide range of beauty being collected on planet Earth, bringing into the Akashic records and permanently being there. You are giving life to a temporary form of beauty. That is amazing. And that is what you do when you anchor things in your life. Now, what of the other parts? Well, one of the biggest challenges that many people are experiencing on planet Earth is that they are believing the separation. It was a game that all of you decided to play. We spoke about it in the very first book that we helped the Keeper to write. It was a game. There was a time that you were all at the base of a mountain, playing your games, enjoying things, playing your games of hide and seek, whatever games that they were, as spirits. And someone came and said, we'd like to play a new game. We've got this game where we can put these veils on and we can't remember who we are. And we go and about our lives and we bump into each other and we still can't remember who we were or the connections that we had. And it's a game all about God searching for himself, looking for herself, trying to find your reflection in the world around you when you pretend to be separate. And so it was. The game began. And it began on planet Earth. There were many games that go out throughout the universe, dear ones. You will find several of them. In fact, one has recently found you. They are trying to connect still. We will share with you about that as it gets a little closer. Currently, neither you or them have the technology to travel back and forth, barely the technology to communicate, which is what they're trying to do right now. You're listening too. You've even seen some of the signals they've sent, not quite know how to interpret them yet, but you will. And during these times, dear ones, when this happens, this is going to give every single person on planet Earth a different perspective. You will suddenly see yourselves as Earth beings. There will be a union of human beings on Earth just for the fact that they consider themselves all to be the same. Isn't that fascinating? You look for the differences in each other, and we tell you when you have two people that are completely different from each other, they love each other. There's always a connection. They honor each other. Those are the easy ones. It is those that are very close to you. Have you noticed, dear ones, that it's always the cousins that seem to fight on planet Earth? It's not those in direct opposition most of the time. It's those that are very close to each other and sometimes even have physical attributes that look very similar to each other. That is where a lot of intolerance is on planet Earth right now. A lot of interpretation. And because of the incredible amounts of tension and fear on planet Earth at these times, separation has been possible. Now the question is, how far are you going to separate from each other? How far can you separate from your brothers and sisters before it becomes problematic? And there we are to bring you to the challenge of the day. Each and every human on planet Earth has some sort of difficulty or way of perceiving themselves. Every single one of you have prejudices that you have learned or you have learned from your parents. Look at what is taking place on the planet right now. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are distributing all over the planet. And although we tell you it's very challenging and very difficult, it is also offering some opportunities that could not be had any other way. One of these is an incredible reseeding of planet Earth to find a more balanced connection between all beings. And although it is relatively small numbers that are actually doing that, it is causing some changes which will not be seen for 2 generations. Now we tell you typically what has happened over and again is you have segregated and separated into your races. And typically, you have problems with those who are very close to your race, almost as if you are in a race with them. That was our attempt at a joke. And so that's what we ask you to do. You are pretending to be human. How much humanity can you bring into your life over the next 3 months? There's a critical window opening up right now. And over the next 3 months, you're going to have an opportunity to make a profound difference in the world by your small actions sometimes and your actions deep within you. Now, everyone has their prejudices. Some people like certain types of people, have had negative experience with other types of people, as you would call them. Races, beings, belief systems, whatever it is that you segregate people into. Find those prejudices first. And we ask you to take concrete steps in some ways over these next 3 months to change and to find out something about those that you have been prejudiced against. Perhaps it is a religion, perhaps it is a belief system, perhaps it is a race of people. Whatever it is, the ones that you dislike the most, the ones that you have resistance to, that's where you can do the greatest blending. That's where you can raise your humanity to its highest levels. You understand, dear ones, that your humanness will outpace the human fear on planet Earth tremendously. These are the times to do something. First, search within yourself. Find your own small prejudices. Everyone has them. It could be that they prefer this over this and may not even know why. But examine these, and examine them as they have to do with groups of people in particular. And then once you find that little area, and do not be ashamed at whatever it is. No one should ever be ashamed of your feelings. But once you've traced those feelings down, and once you trace it down to where that is, do something positive to take a step in that direction. If it is a religion that you are afraid of, look up the religion. Look up the book that it is written in. Do some research about it to find out if it is truly difficult or opposite of what you think, or if it is simply being interpreted that way. Find out a little bit about the people that you are so negative against. It may be difficult for many of you because many of you have prided yourselves in being open, in not being prejudiced. And you have done an incredible job of changing planet Earth with your waves of love. So do not feel that this is a chastisation or being negative in any way, dear ones. What we are doing here is asking you to clear the final pieces of the residuals of your inconsistencies within you. Doing that sets the energy for everyone around you. And you are light workers. You are those that spread your wings very quietly sometimes and have a profound influence on those around you and on the game going on planet Earth itself right at this moment. These are critical times, dear ones, and during the next 3 months, do something to open that door for you. Educate yourself in one way or another about something that you were in fear with, or get to know some of the people that perhaps you were in concern about or you just did not like. There are so many people struggling in strife. And yes, there are many reasons for it, but we tell you it is accomplishing something tremendous. For all humans are on the planet to blend. One of the greatest things that you did during your time on planet Earth thus far is to mix the races. Well, that would have been very easy for you to say, oh, this race belongs over here, and these races belong over here, and these like themselves, and these like themselves, so we will keep everything separate. Did not work very well. Never did. Now is the time to take even a further step into that. Find out where fears of your fellow man are. Address them, and also find out about the people going through some of these experiences. You can be a profound help in many ways with even a small effort. We tell you, dear ones, these are challenges that you will see on your news daily. For there are many fleeing in search for safe places to live right now. Many of you are taking them in, you're checking them out, you are vetting them, and 2 countries this last week said there are so many, we have to reject all the rest. 20,000 in one country, 30,000 in another country. Where are they going? What do they do now? This is where your humanness can come alive. Even asking these questions, putting yourself into a situation where you can imagine what that would be like if that were your family. Now you put yourself in the same circle. Now you are connecting the hearts. It's a time for humanity to awaken from the dream, not just the humans, but humanity itself. There's a new energy here on planet Earth. And you can move it into fear very easily because that's where it will naturally go if it is unhampered. Or you can stand in the way and direct it toward love. You can fill the vacancies in people's hearts where their fear exists with unconditional love, with humanity, with helping each other. Dear ones, once you understand that there are other beings out there, you will all think of yourself in a different way. You will look at some of those that repulsed you before, or those that you thought were your enemies, and you'll look at them as a different perspective entirely. Don't wait. During the next 3 months, you have opportunities of great magnitude to do this. Set it into motion. Make a declaration to yourself that over the next 90 days, you will not only search out those demons within yourself and those preferences within yourself, not that everyone needs to be liked equally, but yet your silent preferences, your silent prejudices sometimes interfere before a person can speak or communicate. So working that first within yourself. Even though you consider yourself to be a light worker, very clear of some of these negative energies, there's always a little peace, sometimes planted deep. And that is the other situation that we are seeing, that we wish you all to be a part of. There's a very difficult situation on planet Earth which has gone on for many generations. We will call it generational hate. That is where the children are raised within a family to hate. Whatever. Hate a race of beings, hate a country, hate people of some sort, hate your oppressors, whatever it is. When you teach your children to hate over and over again, it is a very difficult cycle to break. But you have an opportunity to break that cycle in the next 3 months. And that, we promise you, is something that will take place for all of planet Earth. Right now, if all these beings that are around you, all these other entities that exist throughout all that is, even if one of them were to come to Earth, you would have such difficulties combining your efforts, you wouldn't even be able to decide whether to fight them or to talk to them. This is a time to pull the veils from your face. Not only so you can see who you are, but you can see who your neighbor is, and you can start connecting on this time. These are the times of humanity. How much humanity can you express in your life? Sometimes it would be a gift. You might know people that have come into your neighborhood only recently, perhaps feared. Step forward, see what you can do, see if you can welcome them in some way. Dare to extend your hand where it has never extended before. These are times where you can make huge differences on planet Earth. And we are planting the seed with the most powerful angels that have ever lived anywhere. We honor you, dear ones. You have come with a very specific purpose and intent to be here at these wonderful times of change, to be a part of this new energy. You have made it. Welcome home. Enjoy this next 90 days. It is with the greatest of honor that we greet you in these ways. Ask you to treat each other with respect on all levels. You're all part of God. Nurture one another at every opportunity with your humanness. And play the game well together. Aspavo, dear ones.
you.